Hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on empowering data-driven decision making through data observability. My name is Raj Kamal Sharma. I work as a group product manager at Rakuten. I have around 15 years of experience working in various roles in data domain. I have worked in data platforms, applications like master data management, reference data management, analytics of ERP applications, and data observability. Based on my overall experience in data domain, today I am going to talk about empowering data-driven decision making through data observability. As part of the agenda today we will be talking about introduction to data observability, the importance of data-driven decision making, key components in data observability, implementing data observability in your organization. We'll also be talking about a case study on successful data-driven decisions, and followed by that, we'll have a question and answer session. Data observability is the lighthouse guiding the ship of data-driven decision making, ensuring a clear and reliable path through the vast sea of information. We have seen tremendous growth in volume of data. Data is being produced from different sources in a great velocity, and also there exists a variety of data for consumption today. All of this growth in data is also fueled by the rapid adoption of cloud and hybrid multi-cloud instances. While so many data is available for analysis today, so all organizations today wants to go for data-driven decision making. This is a very good news, but the reality is that all organizations are almost facing with lot of data quality, data downtime issues when it comes to data-driven decision making. Hence, we need a way by which we can get around this data quality and data reliability issues and provide business a way to enable trust and reliability on the data based on which they take decisions. And data observability is the solution to that. Now let's look at what is actually data observability. Data observability is actually the practice of actively monitoring, measuring, and ensuring the quality, reliability, and performance of data pipelines, the processes, and systems in order to enable effective and informed data-driven decision making. The importance of data observability in data ecosystem is actually tremendous. It helps in a great way in ensuring data quality and data reliability. Data observability plays a crucial role in maintaining and assuring the quality and reliability of the data throughout its end-to-end lifecycle. By continuously monitoring data pipelines and processes, organizations can identify and address issues such as inaccuracies, anomalies, or data degradation, ensuring that decision makers have the access to accurate and trustworthy information. Data observability allows organizations to proactively detect and address potential issues in real time. By leveraging monitoring tools and automated anomaly detection processes, data teams can actually identify deviations from expected behavior, enabling timely intervention to prevent data errors, downtimes, or any kind of performance bottleneck. So this proactive approach contributes to the overall health and reliability of data systems. In a data-driven environment, the reliability and accessibility of data are paramount. Data observability ensures that decision makers have confidence in data they rely on for insights and analytics. By proactively providing transparency into data pipelines and processes, organizations can make more informed decisions, they can drive innovation and optimize operations based on the foundation of a high quality and observable data. So now that we have learned about what is actually data observability, now let's look at what is actually data-driven decision making and why it is so important. So when it comes to data-driven decision making, it is basically an approach to making informed choices based on the analysis and interpretation of the relevant data. So in this process, decisions are not only solely taken based on intuitions or experience or gut feelings, but actually they are instead grounded in empirical evidence and quantitative insights derived from the analysis of the underlying data. So talking about the data-driven decision making, what are some of the key elements in the data-driven decision making? The first thing in a data-driven decision making is actually the collection of the right kind of data. So this is the very important steps when it comes to the decision making, because let's take an example of a situation where for a retail company, they want to evaluate their sales transaction trends and some insights coming out of different regions across the globe. For this to happen, first of all, they need to make sure what is that data that is going to be helpful for this entire exercise. So if we think about it, maybe it is the customer demographic informations, it is the transactions of customers across the globes would probably be the important information when it comes to collection of required data for a data-driven analysis, right? So it is important that we identify what is good data and make a process to collect that. So once your data is available, the next process is how do you analyze the data. Now the process of analysis involves employing statistical methods, machine learning algorithms, and other analytical techniques to extract meaningful patterns, trends, and insights from the data collected. Now, once the data analysis is done, let's say we think about the example that I have just given. Now you can basically look at the data coming out of all the sources, and once you apply your analysis on top of it, you may come up with some kind of analysis that across the globe, a particular region is giving me more revenue. Within a particular region, you may want to drill down to a country level, state level, or city level to see that what are those countries or cities from where you are getting more revenues. You may also want to combine that with the demographic information and some kind of sales pattern to get to a more accurate results. So these are some of the trends, some of the indications that you get out of your analytics. Once you are aware of the trends, the next process is the informed decision making. So as part of this, you are basically utilizing the insights derived from your data analysis to guide and support the decision making process across various aspects of business or the operations. The next step is continuous monitoring. Of course, this is not a one-time process. You have to kind of repeat this process as and when your data changes, your trends changes. So as part of continuous monitoring, the essence is that you're establishing a feedback loop by continuously monitoring the outcomes of decisions and adjusting your strategies based on the new trends or new circumstances that are evolving. Also, it is important to have a measurable outcomes. All data-driven decisions should be followed by some key performance indicators and metrics to measure the success or effectiveness of the decisions, facilitating a data-driven approach to evaluate the outcomes, which is very, very important. Unless you have a measurable outcome, you can never be sure about the success of your data-driven decision processes. And this is finally an iterative process. all the decisions, all the feedbacks that you get out of your observability needs to be feed back into the loop so that you are continuously evaluating the changing dynamics of your business, changing dynamics of your trends to make it more effective. So, data driven decision making is widely embraced across industries and sectors as it enables organizations to optimize their processes, enhance efficiency, mitigate risks, and identify opportunities for innovations. It empowers decision makers with a more objective and evidence based foundation, leading to a better informed choices that align with organizational goals and objectives. So, having learned about what is data driven decision and what is its importance, let's look at what is the impact of not following a data driven decision making process, right? So, not following a data driven decision making approach can pose several challenges for organizations, hindering their ability to make informed decisions and optimize performance. Let's look at some of the top ones that we have identified here. So, relying on intuition or gut feeling rather than data driven insights can lead to uninformed decision making. This lack of empirical support may result in suboptimal choices, as decision makers may not have a comprehensive understanding of the relevant factors influencing the decision. Without leveraging data for analysis and prediction, organizations risk making inaccurate assessments of their current state and also the trends in the future. This can lead to poor resource allocation, misaligned strategies, and an inability to anticipate challenges or opportunities, ultimately impacting the overall performance. Failing to embrace a data driven approach can result in missed opportunities for improvement and optimization. Organizations may overlook potential inefficiencies, cost saving measures, or innovative strategies that could be identified through data analysis. So, this lack of optimization can hinder competitiveness and hinder long term success of organizations. In a dynamic business environment, not using data to inform decision making can make it challenging for organizations to adapt to changes swiftly. Whether it's shift in your market trends, whether it's customer preferences or competitive landscapes, organizations without a data driven approach may struggle to respond efficiently to evolving the circumstances. So now that we have learned about what is data-driven decision-making process is and what is the implication of not having a data-driven decision-making, and we have also understood that data observability is the solution to enable effective and reliable data-driven decision-making, let's look at what are the key components of data observability. So talking about the key components of data observability, the topmost one would be data quality monitoring. It is very important that you are ensuring end-to-end quality of your data lifecycle so that the decisions are taken based on good quality data. The next to data quality monitoring is that detection of any kind of anomalous behavior should be always reported to the stakeholders as soon as they occur. The key point of anomaly detection is that you are not letting business getting impacted because of any data quality issues. Once you have anomalies detected, the next would be how do you do effectively the root cause analysis. The data lineage and traceability helps in a big way to ensure that your root cause analysis is done more effectively to understand the impact of any kind of data quality issue and also to understand genesis of any data quality issues. Real-time monitoring plays a very key role when it comes to data observability, which gives you real-time insights into the health of an organization by allowing the teams to promptly respond to any data quality issues before it impacts business. Metadata management along with data quality issues plays a very big role in effectively navigating through any data quality, any data downtime issues so that data observability is able to ensure right decision making in the process. Now let's look at each of these components a bit more in details so that we understand the significance and the uses and the practically how these features can be beneficial for any kind of business. Talking about data quality monitoring, let's first look at what is actually the data quality, right? Data quality is the process of ensuring accuracy, completeness, consistency, reliability, and relevance of data flowing through your pipeline. Now, when we talk about data accuracy, it is actually that the data should be free from errors and reflect the true values. Completeness of data means all necessary data points should be present. Let's take an example of a postal address of a customer or any organization. When we look at a postal address of a customer, it will contain the address line, the building, some kind of home number, your country, state and cities, and also the PIN code. Now a complete address would need all of these components to be present. Unless if you don't have any of these components, then your address will not be complete and it may not give you the right kind of insights when you are applying your analytical process on top of it. Similarly, data consistency. When it comes to consistency, data should be uniform across the data sets. Again, taking the example of a country, state and city hierarchy, when we are talking about a hierarchy, they are basically a parent and child relation. So every city should have a valid state, every state should have a valid country. In absence of this consistent data, your data would really not make any sense when you are applying some kind of uniform analytics on top of it. Reliability is nothing but data should be trustworthy and dependable. Similarly, relevance is nothing but data should be applicable and suitable for all the intended purposes. Now that we have understood what is data quality, let's look at what is the impact of a poor data quality. The topmost impact would be misinformed decision. If your data is not correct, the decisions that you are taking based on your data would always be wrong. It is like a scenario of garbage in and garbage out, because our analytic systems are designed to produce right result provided the input data that is fed to your system is right. Hence, it's very important that the data that is fed to your system is always of the right quality. Increased operational cost is another impact of poor data quality. Now let's look at the scenario where you have wrong data flowing in through your data pipeline and it eventually impacts your data consumption layer. In 90% of the cases, what we have seen is that business users are reporting about all these data quality issues. Their issues are reported in terms of like business users telling to the teams that my dashboards are not reflecting the correct records, they are showing stale information, or if there is a ML model, for example, fraud detection models are showing false positives, or applications like campaign managements are not able to effectively convert the campaigns. So all these are basically symptoms of bad data quality. As you can imagine, the impact of these bad data quality issues is basically tremendously felt on the business in terms of whether they are losing customer trust or customer experience, or they are losing on revenue because of the wrong or late decisions that they are taking based on stale data. Along with that, because of these data quality issues, there is tremendous load that is felt on the data teams who are spending half of their time troubleshooting or debugging these data quality issues. So if you look at end-to-end scenario, it puts a tremendous load on your overall operational systems, hence impact on the cost. It also puts data quality issues also has a huge impact on losing trust in the overall data-driven process of an organization. When it comes to compliance and regulatory issues, again, it has a very big role to play. Be it any domain, be it your fintech domain, be it your healthcare or any domain, they have very strict rules and regulations for their compliance and regulatory needs. Now, every company have to kind of prepare their data in such a way that they report in a particular format to these regulatory agencies. Not able to comply with these rules and regulations results in hefty penalty. Hence, data quality plays a very big role when it comes to compliance and regulatory issues. Now, what are some of the components of data quality monitoring? Now, a very big aspect of data quality monitoring is automated checks and validation. In today's scenario where we have lot of varieties of data available, huge complexity in the overall data ecosystem, there is always a possibility that unknown issues will go through your pipeline. Hence, it is very important that we get away from traditional processes of data quality where we mostly take a reactive approach to define the data quality rules once they are identified. Rather, the modern approach should be that you have automated checks in place which is capable of catching any type of issues that is occurring, any kind of trends that is indicating towards a possible data quality issue. Data profiling and data auditing helps in a big way to understand the quality of data that's sitting in your data tables, and based on that, what kind of corrective actions can be taken to enhance the overall quality and reliability of your data. As part of data quality monitoring, we normally would be monitoring the arrival of data from any sources on time. Also, we are looking at the consistency of volume of data that's flowing through the data pipelines, any kind of structural changes that happens within any tables within the data ecosystem. And also we look at any kind of data distributional changes within data tables and views. Now, the purpose of looking at all these different metrics is that we should be able to identify any kind of anomalies or irregularities before it impacts the business. The very essence of success of data observability in modern day decision making is the fact that faster we are able to detect the data quality issues would be the less cost on the business. Typically, when the data issues travels from source down to the consumption layer, more it is closer to the consumption layer, more would be the cost. Hence, one of the key goals of this anomaly detection is to reduce the cost as much as possible. Machine learning and AI models play a very big role when it comes to anomaly detection. When we talk about the production tables of any data ecosystem, there are lots of tables that are available in the production system. It is very difficult to manually set up data quality rules for each of these tables. Machine learning models helps us to identify the patterns and irregularities by constantly monitoring lots of historical data and giving us a clear indication of what can be a possible anomaly trend. Mitigating risk through timely intervention is actually the end goal of data observability. and anomaly detection helps us in a big way so that we are able to detect the issues before they are impacting the business. Hence, we are greatly mitigating the risk associated with the business outcome and any wrong decisions that are taken based on wrong or bad quality data. Now that we are able to detect the anomalies, the next step in the overall data observability process is how do you do an effective root cause analysis so that data team is able to quickly get to the root of the issue, understand the impact of any data quality issues on business, and also able to point to the correct source of the issue faster. Data lineage and traceability helps us in a big way towards that. Data lineage will lead us to the exact reports or the data applications where which would be impacted by any kind of data quality issues. It also helps you to trace down to the source of the data issue so that you're able to understand why an issue has occurred. With a very beautiful visualization of your end-to-end data flow pipeline, data observability provides you full insights into the issue, into the flow of data within an organization. Real-time monitoring plays a very big role when it comes to data observability. Importance in the fast-paced decision environments is very, very important. As we have mentioned earlier, data observability's prime goal is to detect issues as soon as they occur. Hence, a real-time monitoring is very important for the success of data observability process. Metadata management is also very important when it comes to data observability. Now, as part of metadata management, normally many data observability process typically have an integration with a data catalog, or they would be having their own data catalog, which gives lot of insights when it comes to a data quality issue. Now, when it comes to a data catalog, and let's say I have a data quality issue on a particular table, and now I want to understand what is the business use of that table, who is the owner of that table, what are the possible teams who deals with that table. All these kind of questions are answered by the data catalog that is associated with the data observability process. And this information greatly enables data team to understand the impact and also to get to the root of the issue faster with an effective collaboration. The discoverability part of any data catalog greatly helps the data teams to understand the actual domain use of any data tables and how they can impact any changes. And all of this greatly impacts on the decision-making process. So now that we have understood the end-to-end data observability process, all the components that are involved in the data observability process, let's look at how do we implement a data observability in your organization. Now, the first step to implementing data observability in your own organization would be to understand the current data ecosystem. You would like to understand how is your current sources are being utilized, how are your data ingestion process happening today, how is your data transformation process happening, how are you storing your data, and what is your data consumption layer. Once you understand these end-to-end situations, you would also like to understand the different tools that are used in your end-to-end data ecosystem, and also the critical tables, views, or domains that may be important for your data ecosystem. Along with that, it would be very good to understand the common issues that currently the business stakeholders or data teams are facing when it comes to the data ecosystem. Finally, the expectation of stakeholder is also very important to understand so that you can prepare your entire strategy based on that. Now, once all this information is available to you, the next is you have to come up with a plan on how do you enable data observability across your data ecosystem. Normally, as a best practice, it is always advisable to start small and eventually iterate and get to a bigger implementation. You can always start with a domain or a subdomain of your critical data assets, apply all your data quality, data observability monitors, enable traceability through lineage, and get and see how it is behaving, how it is improving your data quality system. Thereby you are enabling your entire team, entire building a data observability culture across your organization. Thereby all the stakeholders would be able to gradually realize the importance of data observability, importance of reliability of your data when it comes to data-driven decision making. Training your team and building the right culture is always very important when it comes to data-driven decision making. Finally, let's look at this case study of successful data-driven decisions. This is an example of a retail supply chain optimization company. Now, the background here is that it's a global retail company aimed to optimize its supply chain to meet customer demand more efficiently. So they were basically facing a lot of issues in their end-to-end supply chain processes, because of which they were seeing a lot of dissatisfaction with their customers. Hence, they were losing on lot of revenues. They were seeing a lot of operational issues. So they implemented a data-driven approach with a focus on data observability to enhance the decision-making process. Now, as part of this, some of the key steps that they have taken were data quality assurance. They implemented a robust data quality monitoring to ensure accuracy in their inventory data, shipment details, and demand forecasting, which helped to identify and correct discrepancies in real time, avoiding potential errors in the decision-making process due to inaccurate data. They also established a comprehensive data lineage to track the flow of information from suppliers to distribution centers and retail stores. Data observability through lineage allowed for quick identification of delays or disruptions, ensuring timely responses and adjustments to the supply chain. They have utilized data observability tools to monitor key performance indicators such as inventory turnover rates, order fulfillment times, and delivery accuracy. Immediate detection of deviations from the established benchmarks enabled proactive decision making, preventing stockouts and excess inventory issues. They have also applied predictive analytics models to forecast demands based on historical sales data, market trends, and external factors. In this entire process, data observability ensured continuous monitoring of model performance, allowing for timely adjustments as market dynamics evolved. And finally, the outcome of all of this was that the company experienced significant improvements in the supply chain efficiency, reducing stockouts and excess inventory. Decision makers had increased confidence in the accuracy of data-driven insights, leading to a more strategic and agile responses to market changes. The company achieved cost savings through optimized inventory management and enhanced customer satisfaction due to improved product availability. With this, we have come to the end of our webinar today. Thank you for listening to us. As a recap of the session today, we have learned and discussed about importance of data-driven decision making, key components of data observability, and implementing data observability in your organization. Thank you once again.